Caviar to pigs, I don't know.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Always boogie to the theme tune. It builds up the energy for the actual show. Hello there, welcome to the Flash and Blade podcast. I'm scheduled for demolition. With me we have Brian.
Hello.
Oh, good, he remembered to wave. That's nice. And Dominic.
Hello.
Eddie might be with us. It's down to how fast he can change a flat tyre, quite frankly. So, open a book.
9 o'clock at night, not great.
Open a book. I mean, we've just started. How many minutes in do you think before we get Eddie?
35.
I'd say 15, 20. It's average tire changing time.
Okay, all right. If he's got any sense after all that hassle, he wouldn't come. He'd just chill instead. But he rather likes chilling with this as well, though, doesn't he? Yes. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Dominic, what sort of a week have you had?
Well, it's been a fairly quiet one. I decided to do a little social media detox, so that was fairly nice. But at the end of it, I just spent time working on various creative projects that I've just liked to do, and making some progress, and I'm quite proud of myself.
You see, this is Doctor Who fandom in a nutshell. It's the program that fires the imagination like no other. It's that simple.
Very good.
What about you, Brian?
Not much has happened. I've spent my days re-imaging a hard drive. Well, cloning one hard drive onto a brand new hard drive.
So you've got an imaginary hard drive?
No, I have two new one new hard drive that's larger than the old hard drive in my laptop.
And are these hard drives or SSDs?
They're SSDs.
Terminology is important, you know.
You're right. They're SSDs. They are M2 chips.
I don't know what that means.
One is 500 gigs.
That's nice.
The other is 2 terabytes.
Oh.
And I cloned the 500 onto the 2 terabytes.
Right.
So
now, did you use the Kilbracken technique? Because it only lasts about 10 minutes.
No. I used Sparty cylinders.
Yes, of course you did. Good. Yes.
Actually, I used Clonezilla, and
Right. I almost know what that is. That's good.
Clonezilla is free software.
Yep. It was the Zilla on the end that sort of gave it away.
And you can use it to change the master boot record and the partition size so that.
Did you? Did you? I don't know if you would have done, but did you get a thing on Facebook? I mentioned you in a comment on somebody's post. Amanda McDonald was looking for a bit of tech help.
No, I didn't get notified of that. I don't. Well, probably. I haven't checked my stuff in a little bit.
All right, that's cool. No rush. I suspect it might be that because I'm commenting on her post, privacy settings might be different.
Yeah, I don't see it on there.
Not fair enough. Okay. My week's been interesting.
How has your week been?
As in interesting, as in may you live in interesting times.
Oh, yeah, about that.
It started off all right, boring as hell, but okay, it's cool. And then I just happened to glance out of my back window and noticed that my garden fence was partly blown over.
Oh,
this
no.
is a bad
thing. Did knock it over?
And the actual gate and the posts were now up off the ground.
Oh, my.
Now, this means, of course, I immediately had to shut the cat flap up so that Trixie couldn't get out. Because if Trixie gets out, she runs. And she's got no road sense at all. It's terrifying. So I thought, I'll phone Guinness up. It's their responsibility to repair it, obviously. Also, if it goes, it's going to fall on a public footpath. And if there's somebody there. At the same time, I thought I'll mention my garden wall, which, if the building's like that, the garden wall went out like that.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah. So they sent a man out that evening, believe it or not. And
Lawsuits will do that.
it was true. And he said, "Oh, I don't like the look of this."
No, that sound just reeks of money.
All you hear when they say that is cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Not my problem.
This is true.
Yep. They're on a contract anyway, so I don't think they earn more money.
Oh,
So the following morning, they came and knocked my garden wall down. I don't have a garden wall. It's open to the public with a
my God.
mound of rubble, which the kids have already started to dive into. They were supposed to secure it off with metal fencing things, that you see around building sites and whatever. They didn't. So it's been left wide open to the public. And like I say, I'm waiting to get a lump of brick thrown through my window.
oh no.
Well, that sounds like just another brick in the wall.
I knew you were going to do that because you told me you were.
I told you. I warned you ahead of time.
Plus, of course, the fence is still completely kablooey. So I don't know. I have a feeling I'm going to be on the phone quite a bit this week, trying to get something to happen.
Well, did you get your first shot yet?
Yes, got it yesterday.
Yay! Do you have a tentacle yet?
No side effects whatsoever. My arm
Good.
didn't. My arm didn't even hurt.
I must be the only one that got the tentacle.
Only you.
That's because you wished
It's okay,
very
I had
hard.
it removed. I mean, it was an outpatient,
Sean, are you in chat? Say hello if you are, dear.
It might be with Eddie. A birthday
Changing
dinner.
a attire.
A dinner.
You said
know.
15 to 20, didn't you? And you said 35. Okay. There's a lolly riding on this.
Ooh.
I know. It's good stuff, isn't it?
Come on, 30 minutes.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit on edge because I'm wide open to everybody. On top of that, the cat flap's shut, so the dog can't get out, and so all she's actually managing to get is me walking out the front of the house with her on a lead, and that's about it because I can't walk very far. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, basically. Sean, happy birthday! He's in
Happy
chat.
birthday.
He's
Happy
in chat.
birthday, Sean.
And his
Tell your
name is
dad
the
to change
same
the tire
colour.
faster.
His name is the same colour as his hair.
Planned it like that.
I'm not going to say anything.
It is. It's bright orange.
Orange, oh my.
It was planned.
It was planned. Oh, wow. That's
Planned
good.
all along.
I have to admit, considering it's your birthday evening, what the hell are you doing just hanging out here? Jeez, boy. I mean, I know there's COVID and everything, but still. At least there should have been cake. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, sometimes we can have-
Lockdown.
Yeah.
That explains it.
Yeah, I wonder how Eddie's getting on. Got about 6 minutes. Oh, I approve. I totally approve. There was cake. Yeah, exactly. You got to have cake. There's your
Of
birthday.
course.
Having bandwidth issues.
have a birthday without cake. Then it's just boring.
Trying to think of any news apart from my wall and my new open plan garden, which I'm going to whinge about for a long time.
And in terms of Doctor Who relevant news, the Lonely Assassins mobile game got released.
Right. That's good to know.
Yeah, that's a thing that occurred. Stars Ingrid Oliver as Osgood, Brighton Gold, and what's the bloke's name? The guy who played Larry Nightingale. He's coming back as well for it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Nice. I love Osgood.
Which one?
The human one. The one on the left.
Petronella
It's a bit like Ant and Dec, to be honest with you. Can't have one without
is a
the
little
other.
bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's a terrible
Played
thing.
by Finlay Robinson. He plays Larry Nightingale.
What a wonderful name.
It is quite
Finlay
nice,
Robinson. That's almost up there with Edward Underdown.
isn't it?
He played Zastor in Meglos.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I know. How do
What
I
a
know these
name.
things? Well, Edward Underdown.
Good trivia.
And the
good
thing
trivia.
is, he went with that for his equity name. He could have
Oh,
come up with something. No, I'm Edward Underdown. Oh, we've lost Brian. Now that's
oh
rare.
no! He's trying to come back. I can see him. I can see the little circle. Well done. It's down to 2.
Come on,
Amazing.
Come on.
Come
You
on,
can do
boy,
this.
come
You can do
You
this.
can do it.
Come on.
Come on,
Come on.
please. He's down for the count. We've lost him.
We've
He has
lost
to
him.
change the
He's
tyre.
gone. I didn't even leave a note.
No,
Yep, there he is.
no.
Oh, I've got a thing there. That makes it look like I've got a Hitler moustache.
Oh, no, we do it.
And a mark on the monitor in case of, oh, God, I'm Father Tedding. Oh, hang on.
Oh.
Something else is happening. Thing is, we
No,
don't know who it
we'll
is.
get Eddie
Is it
now.
Brian or is it Eddie?
We don't know. Someone's down for the count. And someone's struggling trying to get back in. That's incredible.
This is incredibly brilliant, entertaining, highbrow stuff.
Technology, folks. Technology. Never trust it.
Indeedy doodly. If you'd like to guess the sort of words Brian's using at the moment, please let us know. Right, so once we give him a chance to do that, we'll go into this thing, go to library, and say, and now from the world's BBC Television's Doctor Who, Doctor Who.
Okay then. Can you hear me?
He did it again. He spoke over the music.
Oh, I was trying
It's
to.
just terrible, terrible. What the hell are you doing disconnecting? You're not supposed to disconnect.
I don't know. It's like if he's not here, I'm the next elected.
Dear bod.
It should usually. It's like me, then Eddie, then should be you. Oh my god.
I'm.
You should. You shouldn't be the third one,
I
second
shouldn't
one.
be disconnecting.
You shouldn't be. No, this is unbelievable.
I blame Spectrum.
Nothing that's wise. Blame Spectrum. Dun, dun, dun,
What,
dun,
you're
dun.
running a ZX80?
Oh,
Yes.
That explains a great deal. How long did you sit there debugging the program?
About 2 minutes.
Oh, that's right. You used to
I
get
disconnected and boom.
These-
Debug. Work it.
the Spectrum. I mean, it was very basic, but it actually did have a keyboard. And computer magazines would release games that you had to copy and type into the thing. Awful lot of code, obviously. And 9 times out of 10, they didn't work because there was a coding error.
I remember reading about all sorts of was it Star Trek ones that were released for it,
Probably.
or was it the Commodore that it was released for? One of the
There
two.
was
and
a
that-
Star Trek game that was released a little later on for the Commodore Amiga and the Atari ST.
Actually
that
had
was
a Commodore
one.
64, not 128.
I've got some very fond memories of being around a friend's place with his Commodore Amiga and the games and everything else like that. Very fond memories of that.
I
Except
remember
for when he
you
played
had the
Elite.
games on cassettes,
Yeah.
play them on the computer. Yeah.
Yep. Sounded like a modem.
Yeah.
You know, you were
Oh,
killing,
I love the modem sound.
It's basically the sound of somebody killing electronics.
Well, remember, back in the day, we had to murder robots in order to get on the
My point
internet.
exactly. Yes. The yeah, fond memories. Except for when he played Elite. That was boring as fuck.
I had a 300 baud modem.
A 300 baud modem.
Yes.
Oh,
Not KB.
it's powered by the power of baud.
Oh, that's what it's called, baud. B-A-U-D.
You have been blessed.
Apparently.
Yes.
It was just...
One day I'll explain the baud thing to you.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so
We can keep it a mystery.
It's true.
One of those mysteries never explained on the Flashing Blade. Da, 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 da.
So many. And so many that just don't matter. A fifth Doctor Who, probably. And his plucky girl assistant, Purple Gillian Brown. Materialise. Well, the TARDIS doesn't materialising, let's be honest here, if we're going to be picky. On the Androzani Minor. New Who fans will be aware of Androzani Major from the programme that had Madge Arwell in.
The Doctor, the Widow, the Wardrobe.
Curse you,
No
Madge
one-
Arwell!
No one wants to remember that, to be fair.
Oh, dear God, you can blame her for everything. If you look at the Flashing Blade Vidiprog, Sinister and I did. It's on a separate YouTube channel, Flashing Blade YouTube channel. There's about 60 Vidiprogs now. They start off very basic, and we're trying to find our way of doing it. I initially switched on to my Xbox Kinect camera and did it via that way. And then something else. Trying to think what. Oh yeah, and then eventually I got myself a better webcam. But Sinister did some amazing editing on that. Yeah, he seemed to, absolutely wonderful. But I can't remember why I'm talking about it. Why am I talking about it?
Madge
So
Arwell,
you haven't been paying attention either.
Androzani.
You lost me somewhere
It's just
in
the
Madge Arwell
several
and
stages of-
Androzani.
It's just several stages of connection.
Yeah, I seem to be missing some of them.
So if we backtrack from Sinister to Madge Arwell,
Ah, yes, that woman. You can blame
Keep
her
going
for
back, keep
absolutely
going back.
anything. And he
Caves
did.
of Androzani.
Right, yes. Now, there's a slight problem with the Horizon. It's a bit wibbly-wobbly, unless you watch this on the special edition. And they go into some blowholes, because they're not caves, they're blowholes, technically. But the blowholes of Androzani... Yeah.
Okay.
Stop
okay.
it! Stop it,
I'm
Prevert!
fine.
Stop
I'm
it!
fine. I'm fine.
Are you? Are you really? Are you?
Say it again, I dare you.
The blowholes of Androzani.
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
He's a prevert.
Professionalism.
He's a
Dead.
prevert.
Absolutely dead.
What can you do with this? To be honest with you, it's
Right.
dreadful.
Look what you have to work with. I mean, really.
yeah, I know.
How can we not but feel for you?
Long-term viewers, or indeed listeners of The Flashing Blade, do you remember when I had really good and cool co-hosts? Do you remember that? Oh, those were the days. Now...
Haven't we had the same co-host for like 50 episodes now?
Yeah, well, Joe lasted, I can't remember if it was 50 or 100.
100? Oh, wow.
I can't remember if she lasted that many. Robert, I think, similar amount. Vicky, not so much. Sinister did a lot of the audio podcasts, and he also did the Vidiprog with me. Davies only did a little bit, really, to be fair. And then Steve and Ian, they did all right. They tended to do their own bits for the show, and then they took over the actual show itself. And yeah, I don't know why I've drifted down this route, except hopefully it'll make you feel inconsequential. Okay. Right.
I feel like a replacement doctor.
So anyway, they go down the blowhole of Androzani, and well done, Brian. And Perry falls in a ball of Spectrox, or white sticky stuff. And they don't know what it is. Obviously, it stings. And eventually,
Never
they get,
loved the 80s.
as they're exploring, they get caught. And it sort of goes downhill from there for them, quite frankly. The moment Perry falls into that Spectrox ball, that's it, their fate is sealed. This is one of the holy Doctor Who classics. It's always up there with Genesis and Talons. And it deserves its place, even with the Magna Monster. Oh, the poor Magna Beast. Dear me.
R.I.P.
You can almost feel like someone was insisting, you've got to have a monster. We don't have that much money left for a monster. We'll use Puff the Magic Dragon then.
We spent it all on Warriors of the Deep. And the market turned out...
It explains Twin Dilemma. If I'm honest with you, it does.
Made on a budget of 20p.
Oh, dear me. So, yeah, this is one of those ones. I need to go back and watch it again, because, I mean, I really enjoy it, but it's not one that I can watch over and over and over and over, keep going back to. And I don't know why. That's an odd one, that one. Okay, Brian, you're out of the competition now. It's been 21 minutes.
Oh well.
Hang on a second. As soon as I say that...
No,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to lose.
Okay, right. Get your ass in chat. I bet he's still in the middle of nowhere.
I
Oh,
was
no,
so
there he is.
close.
Well, I know. Well, the thing is, Brian said 20 minutes.
Wasn't too far off.
Amazing.
And, you're
bless him,
muted.
he's muted.
Oh, unmute yourself, son.
You can't.
You can't. He's just a face.
I can, but I didn't want to. It's the shame. The shame of being late. Apologies.
That's all right. I mean, I've
It's
had
okay. I
to...
took your place for technical difficulties.
Yeah, I
already.
actually had to have a go at him for disconnecting, because he's not the one who disconnects normally. It's very wrong.
It is. So
Hi, Eddie.
Hello.
How's
Sorry,
your week?
I
How's your
was
week
taking-
been?
The week's been... today's been just absolute chaos. I had to take my son home, and then the flat tyre warning alert, which in my little me car then starts a spiraling beep, beep. You can't even ignore it. So to go inflate the tyre, come here, noticed that you'd sent me a little message in Discord, and it was like, oh, it's 10 to 9. But I got here eventually.
You did really well.
Caves of Androsani is pretty good, isn't it? Not as good as people say it is, but pretty good. There you go, I'm up to speed.
Yep. Though you've missed the story of the wall.
The wall.
The wall.
Don't worry, I'll go back and watch it afterwards.
Okay.
Oh, your wall. I know about it. Yeah, the wall came down, and David Hasselhoff was in your garden singing, wasn't he?
It was.
that
He
something?
is purely responsible for my wall coming down.
it's kind of like the walls of Jericho.
Oh, good reference. Well done, sir. Break the walls down.
Oh. I can't remember who did that song. I can't remember much about the song, except something about the walls come tumbling down. Tumbling down.
And the walls come tumbling down. Yeah, I know the song.
Okay, Brian is repeating. I'm guessing it's on Eddie, because Eddie's not wearing his headphones.
And I can still... Oh, yeah, hold on, right. So, if you can bear with me another couple of minutes, I'll go and get my headphones.
Oh, bless him.
We're maintaining that high.
Hello, dear. How are you? Saying hello.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. She's my music person.
Okay. Ha! We were talking about old computers as well. Look at that. Looks like an old Atari.
How's that? Oh, is the repeating going?
I don't know, because only you're talking. Right, so we're all here now.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Great. So let's move on. Well, Dominic was first in on the chat room, so Dominic, the Caves of Androsani, please.
One of my absolute favourites.
Aha.
Funny thing is, this is the second time I'm actually talking about it on a podcast this week, because I was on one earlier this week. So fortunately,
He's been
I'm more than
unfaithful.
prepared.
You've been through timing
no,
now?
unfaithful. Oh boy. So,
Don't cry now.
well, I've always loved caves. It's always been one of my favourite stories, pretty much ever. I remember hearing the immortal words of Peter Davison, basically saying that if he had more scripts like it, they would have stayed, which is completely and sincerely ironic. Unless that's implying he'd want to die at the end of every episode. But there you go. So yeah, I mean, the story is extremely heavy, I have to say. It's a very, especially season 20, it's 21, isn't it? It's 21, yeah. Being so dark all the way round as it is, because you not long just had Resurrection, which had a very bloody death toll. You had Planet of Fire, which wasn't entirely pleasant. Chameleon go. Then now you have Caves of Androzani, which the Doctor basically dies to save a girl who he's literally just met. Taking into account this was before Big Finish was even a thing, so therefore I'm taking this into, the original intentions. It's much nicer to think of it that way if you the characters as well. Sharaz Jek is probably one of the most memorable. Can we say villain? I mean, he's not really a villain.
He's not a villain.
No.
He's not a villain.
Anti-hero, I don't know. He's because he does border. He does border on the villainy. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Villain might be too strong a word, but
he's
what is
creeping
another
on
word?
Perry really hard.
What about
he is
anti-villain?
definitely a creep. Yeah.
Instead of
Yeah.
anti-hero,
Anti-villain.
anti-villain.
Yeah, anti-villain. Yeah, I think that's probably the most appropriate way. I mean, he definitely came across as very creepy, but at the same time, you had this sort of feeling that he still cared somehow, and it was just such a weird dynamic of the character, but it was played very, very well. And again, I recall that David Bowie was originally in talks to play that, but that fell through because of a tour, I believe. But generally, we had what was his name?
It's Christopher
The
Gable.
Afghanistan.
He was a dancer who played Sharaz Jek.
Ah, yes, that's his name. Then as well, is it Robert Glenister?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Robert Glenister, as well played Saladin.
Yep.
You're
Doing well here. You're doing very well. I'm
Classical name
impressed.
bugging me. But yeah, I really did like that whole storyline of the androids, even though the execution of the first cliffhanger was a bit of a mind screw as well, because there's no real clear-cut way when they actually get taken out and removed and placed back in. So you're literally left at the end of part one, seeing the Doctor and Perry be shot to death. I mean, you're already going into this story with a vague idea that the Fifth Doctor isn't going to make it out alive, but you're like, that was quick.
It's the resolution of that cliffhanger is very 1930s B-movie Flash Gordon things, because you've got what happens, and then the following week, or rather the next night, you see something extra happen that then explains how they get away with it. It's
yeah.
It's the same with Mark of the Rani.
Kind of like 60s Batman as well, I'd say.
Yes. Yeah.
And that sort of sense. Find out soon about time about channel. Part two. I mean, that's a very slow opener, but then it kicks into high gear. Really, I think my favorite though would be parts 3 and 4 because they just go at such a hectic pace, and it's just such emotional stakes. I mean, Graham Harper directed this very
Twinkle.
very...
That's what this podcast knows Graham Harper as. Twinkle.
Really?
Yeah.
Twinkle. Oh, that's wholesome. But yeah, he did very, very well with this one. The end of part 3 especially was something that stuck out in my mind when we have Davison basically in the cockpit of the ship, basically going, "Oh, you're not going to stop me now," and
he's having to hold back the regeneration.
yeah, he's already trying to regenerate at that point, and he's just holding it back. It's just like, oh my word. That is probably the most under duress we've seen a Doctor probably ever at that point. Like, he's basically dying on his ass, and he's still fighting forth to save his companion, and it's genuinely really quite heroic.
Yes, very much so.
And I love the entire sequence where he's having to like run through the desert as well. That's extremely action packed for Classic Who standards as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I really just thought that was so. It's just extremely high paced and intense and frantic, and it's just crazy that was just obviously it was made on a shoestring budget, but it was still showed that it was very, very good. And I love that whole when he gets back to the when he eventually gets back to just saving Perry. I love how it just goes in and out, ignores everything that's going with the whole chaos of Sharaz Jek, basically confronting the leader, and everything just exploding around him, and that's not even taking into account the president bloke as well.
Morgus,
Morgus, yeah, that's him. Who's basically
chairman of the board.
chairman of the board
So I'm
with his little Shakespearean
Doing
monologue
to camera asides.
Yeah, absolutely insane is just a good way to describe that particular character in the
John
story.
Normington,
And
I think, is his name. Yes, appeared
I
in the Happiness
didn't-
Patrol. As Silas
he did.
P.
He came back.
I think it was Silas P.
Oh.
I could be wrong.
I'm going to say that you're right, probably, hopefully.
Oh, I doubt it. Like it's important.
But yeah, I really think that is a classic. It's a classic that's deserving of its
What do
reputation.
we think of Peter Davison's last word?
Edric.
Yeah.
Bless his soul. That's kind of like it works, I guess. Is the companion that
It's weird because the way Davison's voice sounds now, it's almost like Tom Baker saying it. And when I was younger, when I first saw this, I thought, that's Tom Baker saying Edric. But it's not, it is Davison.
I guess in the ADR department it was just like didn't want to do this, so he just Edric.
Right, Brian. Don't disconnect.
I'm not going to disconnect.
Okay, good.
And as I flicker out on the screen,
Bye-bye.
Oh no.
Don't forget to write.
but no, this was a dark episode. This was a very violent episode too.
It was basically the Fifth Doctor chucked into something that isn't normal for him.
It was probably prototypical of the 80s that it was filmed in. A lot of Hollywood movies at the time were over-the-top violence.
Oh, good Lord, yes.
So they were kind of trying to bring that in there, I think. Then you had Jarek, the Phantom of the Opera with androids. And I mean, the guy's killing his arch nemesis, gets shot, goes back to killing his arch nemesis as everything blows up around him and collapses into the arms of his android friend. And
Luckily,
sits there while the doctor comes in, rescues Perry, and runs out, not even giving him two
you said
minutes.
doctor again.
Doctor.
All these tunnels look the same to me. Doctor. It's...
Yeah.
What was I? Yes. Luckily, it's a Robert Holmes script, so of course it was going to be good. And it gave us the wonderful insult of "you stinking awful," which is great.
Or worse.
Or what? Say again, Eddie.
Sorry, I've been called worse.
Oh, could you turn your gain down, please? Your volume. You're a little bit on the boomy side.
How's that?
That's a lot better. Thank you.
That better?
Yeah.
No worries.
Anyway, it's your turn to do talking now.
I like this, right? I really do like this, and I don't really understand how Caves gets the kind of plaudits that it does, though.
Interesting.
Because I go back to the very start of this episode. The Doctor had been less flippant in terms of his treatment of Perry. Right at the very start of this episode, she wouldn't have slipped, because she slips and then he tells her to be careful after she slips. She falls onto the plant device, and then obviously that starts the countdown to her infection and ultimately the Doctor's demise. So if the Doctor had been a little bit more serious and a little bit more caring towards Perry at the start of this, we wouldn't have had the need for him to be heroic and stay off and regenerate, because I think Davison's Doctor was responsible for this right at the very start. So
okay.
that's just one take on it. The other thing is, you shame on you all. You all forgot the mighty Maurice Rose, who plays the lead kind of mercenary in this.
Maurice Reeves, you mean?
Scottish.
That's right, the
Yeah.
guy from Megaforce.
Maurice Reeves.
Well, we know him
it's
from
the
Tutti
captain
Frutti.
from Megaforce.
Stotts.
There is debate on how you pronounce his name. I've always called him Maurice Rose. So
That's all right. I have the same
I'll
problem
take-
with John Lemosrier. I'm from Jersey. It's Mosrier, but in some parishes it's Missouri. And it's a case of stop it.
So, But he's a Scottish legendary figure. There's
quite right too.
a serial called Tutti Frutti where he basically steals the whole show. So and it's one of my personal favourites. One of a very early vehicle for Robbie Coltrane and Emma Thompson. It's a great serial. It's on BBC Scotland.
I remember bits of it.
Oh, it's great. They had to hold off repeating it for years because obviously the rock and roll soundtrack. When BBC Scotland launched a couple of years ago, they put it back on there, so it's great programme.
Oh, fair enough. That's
So-
good.
I really like this. Things take me out of the episode. The creature on this in the caves,
Yes.
even back in the 80s, it looks like the dragon that used to feature in Rent-A-Ghost. I thought that at the time. I think it now, and it kind of took me out of it. Those were a couple of niggles I have because I think Peter Davison's the Fifth Doctor is actually responsible for this at the very start. That said, excellently written. It's action packed. The guy who plays, and I've forgot his name already, and I'm already wearing the hat. Sarah Jack, brilliant. I think I'm really interested that David, as a David Bowie fan, he would have him in that role. Oh, that would have been interesting. That'd have been very
That
interesting.
would have been fantastic. That would have meant Jarek had to come back at some point in
Yeah.
time because it's Bowie. You can't kill off Bowie.
No, absolutely. But that said, the guy who plays him was fantastic. The main villain in this is, which, not Jared Jack, because like anti-hero, I'll give it that. We'll call him an anti-hero.
No, we're calling him
The
an
guy
anti-villain.
who's
We're calling
is
him
it
an anti-villain.
Murdoch? Anti-villain. Right, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. The guy who is basically responsible for
Morgus.
is Morgus. Again, just great, absolute villain. And ultimately his own demise is caused by his own paranoia.
good way
And
to
the
put it,
poor
very much
president
so, yeah.
gets chucked.
Mm.
Yeah. And he's
That's a very
basically
good way to
his protege, his assistant, just the whole thing where she takes over and basically top trumps him at his own game. Brilliant, lovely. It's a great way to bring a villain down to it. Just basically to bring revenge and bring the Britain. It just makes sense. Sorry, I've had a very bad night, so
That's
I'll
all right.
calm down
It's
eventually.
cool. It's cool.
But I like this. They call it a classic. I wouldn't call it a classic. And again, I'll go back to the very start of this episode. He brought it on himself. Sorry, he brought it on himself.
It's not a classic, huh? Okay.
Not in my opinion.
No, fair enough. You're allowed your opinion. It's wrong.
Yeah, I'm already wearing it.
I know. I'm just, just to make sure.
Has anybody
I'm not
ever
saying
seen
I
the
didn't-
movie from the 80s, Megaforce, with the flying motorcycle and stuff?
You've piqued my interest. I want to see it.
Megaforce? Nobody?
No.
Megaforce, Power Rangers Megaforce.
No.
Oh.
This is way before. This is like right around the time Androzani came out.
I see.
The costumes that the mercenaries are wearing look almost exactly like the outfits in the movie. Headband, tight spandex, zip down to midsection, chest hair showing, machine gun. It's almost an exact ripoff of the
See,
Maybe they actually used the same costumes. Maybe if it was shot at Shepperton
Fairly
Studios or something like that.
You're loud
Thing is-
again. Why are you loud again?
I'll turn the gain right down.
I always thought as well, like the outfits of the workers' outfits looked very suspiciously Star Trekky. It had the colours on the shoulders. It was almost like a proto Deep Space Nine
Do you mean
uniform.
the soldiers?
Soldiers? Yeah.
Yeah, there was a certain something to that. It was very well designed. There was a consistency to it throughout the program, no matter where they were. It was very well designed.
Absolutely.
It's an interesting fact with Caves that the Doctor doesn't do anything. Everything happens around him. He's not trying to bring down the government. He's not trying to do this, that, or the other. He just wants to get Perry and get out of there.
Yeah. Everything
Well,
just happened.
it's his duty to actually bring Perry out because he's responsible for making her ill in the first place. I'm going
Yeah.
to keep going back to that.
It's bugging you, isn't it? It's really niggling you.
Yeah.
Look at it this way: the the punishment for doing that was to become Colin Baker.
It's an interesting
Colin
topic,
gets-
though. How many
And-
screw-ups has...
And you can see
Is it-
it right there.
One at a
when it
time.
regenerates.
Dominic, what were you saying?
I was just saying, it is an interesting thing to think about, though, really. How many times has the Doctor's screw-up contributed to his own demise?
That's fair. I mean, you got the third Doctor.
I think that's a good... Yeah. I think it's legitimately a decent character thing, to be honest. You could probably argue the 10th Doctor as well.
And possibly the fourth.
Yes. As well as that.
Hmm.
11, 12, no.
And as this podcast insists that basically the seventh Doctor came back to kill the sixth Doctor, that was his fault as well.
And I guess 7th Doctor, if you just check the scanner, he'd probably still be around.
Yes. Yep. There was a thing in one of the new adventures. It's a case of he walked out without, I think it was Time and Revelation. He walked out with without checking the scanner. That's going to come back and bite him someday, says Ace. And this is way before the TV movie.
Yeah.
You
It was
know?
a bad habit he got into.
It was. The arch manipulator really just completely nope. So,
It's a great episode. They really didn't need that creature either. Did they really need that creature?
No,
that,
no,
I mean,
they
that.
didn't.
Definitely not.
I said whilst you
Any
weren't
better?
here that it felt like someone had insisted they have a monster.
Yeah.
They didn't need
Is
it.
Freddie
They-
Freiberger involved in producing Doctor Who at this time? Because that's great.
No, thank God. Dear Bod. I mean, imagine. God, can you imagine it if the McGann movie had taken off and they put Fred Freiberger in charge?
Oh. Yeah, absolutely. No, that's just wrong. Just wrong.
Wait,
No, I'm
do
trying
they
to- I'm
get
trying to
keep
get that
the
out my head.
interior of his TARDIS.
I'm glad it didn't go to a series. One,
I
because
actually like the interior of his TARDIS. I'm
It's-
just going
it's
to come out and say that.
not enough round things.
There's never enough round things for you.
No, you
I
can't
like
have enough
his-
round things.
Exactly.
Exactly. Ow. Right. So, thumbs up for Caves of Androzani, thumbs down, or it's all the Doctor's fault?
No.
Oh, it's still all the
true.
Doctor's fault, but thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okie dokie then. So that was our quick look at the classic Caves of Androzani.
In all caps lock.
Yes, that was italics.
Oh, wow.
And underlined. And bold.
Indeedy.
And
Anyway, the fifth Doctor, who I think, and he's plucking at Assistant Turlo, are well, they're messing around in a desert, and they're trying to find a city, and we come in the middle of an adventure, basically. And it sort of goes from there. We can't give away too much of this. It's a brand new Big Finish, the end of the beginning. It's structured like the Sirens of Time, the first one. So you have 3 episodes with each with an individual Doctor, and then the 4th episode they all team up. The 6th Doctor is in space. And he has an adventure in space. I'm
With
not
Calypso Jones.
with Caliber Jones, yes, with Calypso Jones even. It's all right. Caliber, is that Jones? What? Yeah, I actually can't remember that story. That's terrible.
from Lovecraft Invasion.
Yeah.
And and the 8th Doctor and Charlie, they've got vampire problems in London. And all
was
of
my
this
favourite.
is linked by a mysterious person either basically visiting them and possibly taking them out of time or taking them away or something. And we're not going to give away the twist about this person because it's wonderful. It's what you're least expecting. It's really nicely done. This is a fun one. It's I wouldn't say it's Big Finish at its best, but it's certainly not Big Finish at its worst. It feels quite workaday, if that makes sense. It's all very well done, but the thing as a whole just doesn't feel as great as it should do.
It could have felt more epic. Is that what you're trying to suggest?
Yeah,
Because
sort of. I
yeah.
would have thought. Yeah.
I mean, this is the end of the monthly ranges, and you think that build up to a major crescendo, and it's 4 great stories, but it doesn't feel like an event.
Yeah, no, I think that's
That's
about
not-
it.
Very well publicised as one.
Well,
But,
yes, quite.
yeah.
End of the monthly range, beginning of box sets for each Doctor, which we've worked out is actually, we've got to change the way we do things on the Flashing Blade. We may as well mention it now. The 4-disc, or however long it is, you know, if you have a 2 4-part stories in a box set, or 3 4-part stories in a box set, or however many, it's getting a little bit too much for some of us to actually to actually
Oh yeah,
listen
yeah,
to.
no, I'll take the blame on this one. Yeah.
So depending on the structure of each set, obviously we're all going to listen to them if we can, but each one of us is going to be responsible for one story.
Good shout. A good idea.
Okay.
Yeah. It depends how many stories there are and how it works out. And I mean, I'll be listening to them all anyway, because I do. It's a way of passing the time, quite frankly. Oh, when will this all be over?
Not my lifetime.
Eventually.
Oh, I got my jab, by the way, Eddie.
Oh, good to hear.
Yep, and absolutely
About time to-
zero side effects. My arm didn't even hurt.
No, that's good. Which one did you get?
AstraZeneca by Christopher H. Bidmead.
Oh, it's a good book.
She should
Yeah.
should be getting a blood clot soon.
Thanks, Brian.
No problem.
I smoke, and I'm not exactly what you would call active. Yeah, I probably will be getting a blood clot soon.
Forewarning is forearmed.
Yeah,
Speaking of,
maybe.
have you grown your forearms yet?
No mutations of which I'm aware.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, right, good. So what did, not you, Brian, well, you sort of listened to it whilst you were cooking, didn't you?
I listened to it while I was peeling potatoes and cooking.
Well, jump in if anything seems familiar.
Okay.
All right, that's good. Eddie, what'd you make of this?
I think there's an element here that having listened to this and kind of jumping in, so I kind of struggled with the first story, which was around the Fifth Doctor and Tudlow, but that's because I haven't listened to any of the back catalogue of the Fifth Doctor and Tudlow stories, so I kind of struggled with that one. But again, it was a good story, good standalone story. But again, that was the one which I probably struggled with the most. I enjoyed the second one with Colin Baker's Doctor,
I just
and
can't remember it.
it was there's these androids or robots that are kind of mafia-like kind of dons, and it was like a plot. And again, I'm saying no more than that. Listen to it; it's really I quite that one I found quite amusing. My favourite though was McGann's. The whole thing around the vampire creatures, and obviously it was very True Blood-esque in terms of. I really enjoyed it. And there's
very 90s from what I what I
Yeah.
could tell. Very 90s. Lots of vampire imagery in it.
Hmm.
In fact, didn't it start like when his movie came out? It started on the same day as he landed. So there was some line that as long as I don't go to San Francisco, I'm fine.
yes.
Fair enough.
So I like that with the art gallery, and just it's just beautifully set up. And then, like you said, the final story brings it all together, and kind of tries to tie a bow on the monthly stories. It's if you've been listening and devotee to these, it's a must buy. You've got to buy it because it's the end of an era. But like I said at the start, good stories, but it just didn't feel like the epic event. When this came out, multi-Doctor story and the monthly adventures, maybe it was me. Maybe I expected too much. Maybe I'm just greedy. Yeah, I'll put it down to that.
I think, quite frankly, I've said this before, I think we're getting too many multi-Doctor stories. It used to be one every 10
Yeah.
years, you know, and now everybody's doing them, whether it's Big Finish or whether it's Titan.
It's
or-
one every
you
other
know.
box set.
Exactly. It's... And I do think Big Finish are overusing the Daleks a little bit as well.
The
Anyway,
whole special event is losing the special.
That's the thing.
yes, quite right too.
I like Constance, and I miss Flip. I know Flip was kind of
A bit
immobile
bruised.
in this. Yes, but the Sixth Doctor, Constance Flip pair I really like. So
No, I
maybe
like
that.
Constance a lot. She takes absolutely no shit from him. It's
Yeah.
a bit like Evelyn in that respect. We
I
miss
like the
Evelyn.
subtle play between Constance and Calypso.
I get the feeling Constance didn't have the faintest idea what Calypso was on about until the very end.
Not a
Then it's a
clue.
case of, oh. Yeah, this is... Dominic, what did you make of this? Did you get a chance to listen to
Well,
it?
I did. I got a chance to listen to the first two parts. But I want to agree with what you were saying. I feel that multi-Doctor stories are a little bit oversaturated because there's something that are usually left for special occasions. But if you just go back over the catalogue of almost everything, TV even at this point, video games, Time Lord Victorious, it's all been all over the place, really. But I digress. Although I sort of digress, it's not really a digression, is it? But yeah. In terms of what I listened to, first part, very nice exploration piece for the Fifth Doctor and Turo, I thought.
Mhm.
I actually wrote notes this time because I'm trying not to give too much away. I know I will if I leave it to my brain. I did quite like what it was trying to do. I know you said about Sirens of Time. Obviously, that was the intention, but I got a vibe of the Four Doctors as well.
Now, the Four Doctors was a really lovely one. I thought Colin's episode in that was... Oh, it was heartbreaking. It just showed this totally different side to the Sixth Doctor. It was wonderful.
Absolutely. Four Doctors is one of my favourite Big Finish stories ever, really. And obviously, this one gave us basically an in media res introduction to Five and Turlo doing their own adventure. But I thought it was a bold move. Really kept the energy going because obviously don't have time for a full adventure, so we'll go in straight away. But yeah, actually that sentence probably gives too much away, so I won't say that. Definitely
Okay.
kept. Yeah, it definitely kept me on my toes. But the Sixth Doctor one I thought was really cool. I really like the Sixth Doctor one. There's a great future tale with a lot of good world building, I thought, in terms of what humanity can look forward to in the future with the bootleg wars and the robotic bandits and everything. It was very nicely done. It served kind of as a little sequel, spiritual sequel to the Lovecraft invasion with the characters. Great development for Calypso and Constance, and it also gave me vibes of an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation with all the robots, synthetic discussion with the prophecies as well. Very tense ending as well with the chase.
It's bizarre. I listened to this. I cannot remember any of it.
Really?
Yeah,
Really
Yeah.
enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
that's really odd.
It wasn't bad. I liked it.
Hold a minute. Did you listen to this episode after the jab? So is this maybe your side effect from the jabs?
No.
Oh,
I listened to it
Memory
earlier
with
this
the
week.
jab.
I listened to it earlier this week. It's Well, we've known for some time that my memory is slowly failing. I mean, I'm the one who just forgets what she's saying as she's saying it, which is a pretty good achievement, if I'm honest with you. It's adding to my air of just general befuddledness.
I'm
Yeah.
getting there. I had to listen to the Davison one twice for it to actually take them both.
Really? Oh,
So
goodness.
yeah.
Brian, through the steam and the potato peelings, what did you pick up?
For which one?
Well,
The-
whatever. Just give us a general overview, dude.
Hold a minute. You're peeling potatoes. Hopefully they weren't getting boiled and they were getting deep fried, or I'll have to go.
I was making a stew.
It's fine. Okay, fair enough.
Little
In the name of the
potatoes,
law,
lamb,
apparently.
some Canadian bacon, some onion. Let it go.
That's all.
Salt, pepper to taste. Fantastic.
I've already had a go at him about the fact the Americans don't have the faintest idea about bacon. When you come over, one day when you come over, I'm going to teach you about bacon and the
You have
laws
to
of
get
tea.
out of COVID first.
Proper bacon sandwich. Proper bacon sandwich.
Smoked bacon. It's got to be smoked bacon. It has to be.
That's bacon.
Well, we have candied bacon here, so.
Yeah, but you put treacle on
it's
pancakes.
good. It's good. You put it in a little pouch, and you take it. It's walking around bacon. Oh, it's
No,
fantastic.
that time I was in America,
Jeff,
bacon with
defend me.
maple syrup.
That
Come on,
is a
walking
very
around
American thing.
bacon.
Walking around bacon.
Walking around
Bacon.
bacon. Walking around bacon. Just saying, it's fantastic.
Okay.
No, that's putting bacon with maple syrup. It's just wrong.
All right, so we've got to teach him about bacon. We've got to teach him about the laws of tea, and how it doesn't go very
you
well with
put your
salt
milk
water.
in first. I know that.
Full Scottish fry up as well. None
I
of
am
this
not
full
coming
English,
down
full
on either
Scottish.
side, quite frankly, because if I make a cuppa with a tea bag, obviously the milk goes after the tea bag's taken out. But if you're sort of pouring from a pot, it is the milk goes first. I've always done that. My nan always did that, and
Yeah.
if it was good
You
enough for my
always
nan,
put the milk first if you're pouring. I mean,
dear
it's
me,
just
shut up.
basic tea.
no, it's yeah, remarkable.
And
Absolutely
that's about what I
remarkable.
remember from that.
We've somehow gone from Big Finish to tea. I
Well,
like
Not
that.
bad.
cooking in
It's
general.
not bad, Farrell.
Yeah, that's quite good. So did we enjoy this release? We can't say more about it, like I say, because it's fresh
It's
out and we
just
don't want to
out.
wreck it for people.
I will say the ending is a little predictable.
Well, it is telegraphed. The Deus Ex
Very
Machina
telegraphed.
is telegraphed. But it
Yes.
is fun, and the interaction between the doctors at the end is there's a little bickering, but it's far more mature than the first three would be.
Well, you can kind of hear it in their voices too.
They've encountered each other before, so it's kind of like a reunion. So it kind of reflects that. So no, I quite like that.
The
The only one that's not there is Seven.
you don't think he's going to miss out on that, do you?
Same.
All right, okay. Right, what are you doing, you fool cat? What are you doing? Come here. Come here. Come and show your bottom to the world. Chestnut. There we go.
Chestnut, Destroyer of Worlds.
Yeah.
It's
Very
Farrell,
Eater of
so-
Souls.
Ah, dear. Oh, the purr is starting.
Oh, hello.
He's
hello.
not sure about this, though. No.
Oh,
No,
I know.
that's-
Oh,
Right,
No.
he's now going to walk over my keyboard several times. There
Maybe
we
I'm
go.
still. Am I still too loud if I frightened your cat? If I frightened
No.
Chest?
You're borderline just right now, which is cool. So we enjoyed that. Like I say, not as epic as we was hoping for. But did you hear that?
We did, yes. A bucket somewhere get well truly kicked.
It's because I've got the cat flap shut.
You think, Siobhan? I think you're right, Sean. Siobhan, too many maybe multi stories, and I think we've been spoiled with the multi doctor stories. That might be a reflection of that.
Familiarity breeds contempt, and it stops being special. It's like that's what I've said about Christmas. Christmas getting earlier and earlier every year, and people putting in decorations up at November and that sort of thing. If it's there so long, it stops being special because it just becomes everyday, an everyday thing.
Yeah.
Christmas when I was a kid, you had the build-up in the primary school. You know, you'd have the Christmas party when you were little. You might have a school play or something for Christmas. At the same time, we didn't put our decorations up until a couple of days before Christmas. And we took
In
them,
Scotland, 12 days before, and you took them down 12 days after.
yeah,
That was
and it just made that little period, that week or so, just over a week, I would have thought, really special. It was
You do know who's responsible for this, though. You do know who's ruined Christmas.
Madge Arwell.
Roy Wood,
Oh,
wishing it was Christmas every day.
Every day,
That's
yes,
it.
quite
Yeah,
right.
Ruined it. Ruined it.
Yep.
Absolutely. That's just... Should have a word, I think.
I'm drawing the line at Halloween. This far and no further.
I think as soon as it looks anywhere near October, people start going on about pumpkin spice, which just sounds disgusting.
Only if you're a basic bitch.
Oh, righty-ho. Okay. A Karen, you mean?
my
No,
lord.
no. There's a basic girl outfit. You know the kind.
No, I don't.
Ugg boots, yoga pants, North Face vest, at least around here.
2 seconds. The bedroom window
We have
is
them here as
open.
well.
The bedroom window is open. Go and use that. Stop trying to open the cat flap. What are you doing, you strange creature?
Trying to use the cat flap,
Obviously, yeah.
Seriously.
Sounds like it.
Come on, stop being stupid. You know
Yeah.
the window's open.
Yeah,
You come in that way.
pumpkin spice everywhere.
Don't like the sound of
There's
pumpkin
a special
spice.
circle of hell that has pumpkin spice.
I don't think I've ever.
Child
Tasted it,
molesters and people who talk in the cinema. That's a great line. I like
Circle
that
of
line.
hell.
Yeah. So anyway, I could really bugger off and make a cup of coffee for this next bit. I won't, but I could. I'm just saying. All right. Yeah. So they watch the Tomorrow People. I'll leave them to tell you about it. I'm going to sit back and enjoy myself now. I'm going to relax.
Really?
Yeah.
It was actually a good one. It
Yeah,
had no
I
market
enjoyed it as
whatsoever.
well. It had some positives.
What happens
Yeah.
then? What happens in it?
Well, a bunch of aliens want to get unobtainium, which apparently cancels out Tomorrow People's special powers.
Unobtainium. Right.
It's the
right.
MacGuffin of the week. I don't know
Right,
what they
yeah,
actually
okay.
call it in the show.
Right, how it's kryptonite. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Right.
And it cancels out Tomorrow People powers. So they want to use it to build a bomb that will irradiate the entire galaxy and shut down the Federation and everyone with
That
special powers.
Is a big bomb. I'm just
That
saying.
is a big bomb. But
Yes.
they have to go to Scotland to get it. And you know where the unobtainium is?
Loch Ness?
Right under Loch Ness.
Oh, for God's sake.
It's also
Who'd have
being
thought?
guarded by an alien creature.
A Scarison, a Borad.
I don't know. We call it Nessie.
Righty-ho.
So, where do they go? They go to the only hotel there that used to be a castle. Coincidentally, owned by Andrew's father, Bruce. Andrew, the new Tomorrow person
Yes,
from last week.
Yes.
Yeah. Hilarity ensues. Andrew gets zapped
Oh.
twice.
Does the vicar
He
come in?
he shakes hands with them, doesn't he? And then off the
He
back of
touches
that, he
the
loses
ring
his
which
powers.
has it in it.
That's it. That's it.
And he screams like a little girl.
He doesn't he? It really
does.
is quite a.
It is high and shrill.
It's very Ned Flanders scream. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And he loses his special powers. What's he gonna do? They don't know what to do. Okay, so he sleeps on it. Powers come back. Okay, that's fine. He puts two and two together and figures the two new guys who checked in that he screamed at, they're up to no good.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't static electricity. But
Mhm.
but really bad static electricity.
You got to be quicker on the draw there, Sean.
Meanwhile, everyone else in the Tomorrow People, except for Sukai,
Sutai.
Sutai, is up in space, dealing with these, aliens who can't drive.
To save problems over the next 2 or 3 weeks, we will know her as Sutek.
What?
Okay?
What?
We'll call her Sutek.
Okay,
She can
Sutai.
bring Sutek's gift of milk to...
Apparently,
all
she can
humanity.
sing.
She can sing.
She can sing because
I can't. I wish I could.
she's entertaining the dining room at Andrew's father's castle.
Jazz hands.
Yeah, jazz hands. I don't know. So Andrew follows the aliens down to a ravine as they're digging out the unobtainium, which apparently can blind you if you look directly at it. Guess what Andrew does?
He didn't know. To be fair, he's only a young boy.
It's a glowing rock they're digging out of the ground. They stop to specifically put on goggles.
I'm loving this.
Well-
I'm loving this. Keep going.
So yet another girly scream. And he passes out. And they figure it out. Oh, he's one of them.
Not one of them.
With
Goodness
a
me.
capital THEM. So they leave him alone. They go back. Sukai, what? The chick is.
Her name is abominated throughout the known universe.
Yeah, she jumps into their room. She's got the stun pistol on them.
Hooray!
Oh no! Please don't do anything like that. Please don't. So just they hit her with the unobtainium. She loses her power and turns into a quivering jellyfish.
Oh no!
Seriously,
Lord.
this girl is just vibrating on the floor.
Okay,
It's
keep going.
bizarre.
It's exciting.
No, it's not.
No, no, I'm bullshitting as much as I can here to try and keep you going. You're doing well. Keep going.
John,
You're doing
Mike, and
grand,
Liz
Brian.
are up on the
Did
spaceship.
you guys write notes on this?
No,
You
No,
know suspiciously-
No, he knows this all from memory.
I just
Yeah.
Seriously.
Okay.
yeah.
oh come on. You've known us long enough by now. We each of us have our own little picadillos. Brian's is
John,
the Tomorrow
Mike, and
People.
Liz.
Mine's Doctor Who.
Fortunately, this is a low mic episode.
Mine's Doctor Who as well. I can't do the Tomorrow People. I'm sorry. I can't live with
It's
it.
all right. We've only got another 2 or
We got
3
the
weeks.
living skins and then one more week.
All right, so I got two more weeks of the Tomorrow People, and then Quatermass.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that. Oh, I'm nice at that. Yeah, please.
That's all right. And for Quatermass in the Pit, young Toby Haydock will be joining us.
Oh, and Tim's human actor shows up.
Philip Gilbert.
Yes, with the worst comb over in history.
Yes, I had noticed that had been commented upon.
Oh, this is bad.
Now, hang on.
This is why I'm wearing the hat.
No.
Was he
You have
Techno
nothing
Timus?
to worry about. This is horrible.
Techno Timus.
Timus, ambassador.
Timus. Right, yeah, okay.
It's the
Okay.
ambassador
Yeah.
clone. And the little dog person that flew the ship and helped the Tomorrow People out.
The little dog person who I am sure was Bungo from Rainbow. It even looks. He's got the Bungo headdress on, but just you can see his face.
Bungle or the
Shoot.
War Bungle?
Oh, right, because there were two, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was the War Bungle beforehand, played by John Leeson.
No, not the War Bungo.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Who was the pilot?
I have to admit,
Yeah.
I love that now. Doctor Who fandom's basically turned around. Anything that doesn't quite fit in or is slightly alternative becomes the war something or other. I like
The
that.
original Bungo was quite scary though.
That's the
I
War
don't know
Bungle.
Where
Yeah,
they got?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God.
That would have terrified me. I never watched Rainbow as a kid.
Oh, I would love that.
No, it didn't really. It was too young for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I had a crush
I like
on
more
Jade.
growing
But
up
anyway, we
things.
digress. Come on, Brian's nearly there.
Okay,
Go, Brian.
almost
Come on,
there.
Brian. Come on.
Everybody goes up to the ship, and
Yes.
they all get captured by the bad guys,
Yes.
including the little dog boy.
Oh,
Everybody gets tied up.
yes.
Andrew, he has the knife in his sock.
Ah,
he
the
has
duck.
John take it out.
Ski and do.
Craigenture.
And
He's a
he
ski-doo.
tells John to take out this skiing do. And John's like, what? Mike's like, the knife, you moron.
That's an act.
And Andrew gets free. He saves the day. The
Hey!
ship doesn't blow up, and they all keep their powers.
Hooray!
Hooray.
So if I can interject, right, this is actually a good episode because one, who did we not mention very much in the recap that Brian's just given?
Mike, by any chance?
It's Mike Light. So
Mike
Right.
shows up in a spacesuit, and that's pretty much it. And he tells
Obviously his band were on-
moron.
Mike obviously was in tours, which is good. Elizabeth, I think they've got such a good character in Elizabeth. They're not using her, so negative points. Sutek, and Andrew have a bit of banter in a rapport, and works. So that's good.
God
And
cares
we
being
get to
put into
see
it.
General von Klinkerhoffen in an early part. He's one of the bad aliens. So we get to see Bungo, General von Klinkerhoffen.
Hilary Minster.
We get to see
Hilary Minster, the actor, plays General
Hilary
von
Minster.
Yeah. Because
Yes,
he's in Genesis
yes,
of the
yes.
Daleks as well.
Yeah, that's the very one. So he's in an early. The other fella looks a bit like Ade Edmondson, but isn't. So again, so I just
So,
it was light-hearted. They all get their powers back after the episode comes to a close. They don't really explain how they get their powers back. Just
Red Bull?
Did I miss something?
it
there,
wears
Brian?
off,
Did-
apparently.
potentially.
Kind of Red Bull.
So what's the point of blowing this huge big bomb that's going to take the Federation down, but just for a couple hours? It's
Like
and
I
then
said,
it gets a
on
bit.
that premium.
They didn't think
It
it
gets-
through.
Well, it gets really dark again because it gets to the end, and it's a case of so what are we going to do with the two villains now they've been captured? Oh, they will go to a rehabilitation centre and they will stay there for as long as it takes to make them think, basically do what the Federation tells them to do and change their ways. Yeah, okay. And they did that before, if you remember one of the early episodes where they get the two young kids and basically show them war at its worst.
Mhm.
It's Roger Price is very much into his brainwashing, so negative points for that, but there's been worse.
Oh, and Dog Person gets a new ship.
It's a brand new ship, yeah.
Top of the line.
Hopefully it's better than Ensor's. Because Ensor and his mate are basically on their way back to Aristo. Unfortunately, well, first of all, they have a slight problem going into the atmosphere. And secondly, a bomb goes off. We're about Blake 7! Brian, you had 2 weeks to digest this.
Uh-huh.
They use escape pods and they crash land on the planet Cephalopod. I don't know. Anyway, they're there. And Blake and co have noticed this ship, seen what's happened, and thought, all right, we'll go and give aid. It's a bit radioactive down there. You need to keep that one in mind because that's going to become important. And there are lots of hairy men with very bad wigs who are very interested in Jenna. Plus ça change, plus c'est la même chose.
To be fair, she is a babe.
Avon becomes a god. The episode we're talking about is Deliverance. And I've got to admit, I didn't think I'd enjoy this one because I remember watching it on video. And I think it was a bit cut down for video because it was also teamed up with Warrack, I think. It was Warrack and Aftermath. Aftermath? Oh! Ooh. Oh, I can't remember the name of the first episode of the second series. Redemption, possibly. It could be. Anyway. I don't know. I really enjoyed this one. I enjoyed this one immensely. Who hasn't started yet? Brian, you haven't started yet. Talk to me about Blake
The whole
7.
Tomorrow Person crap.
What?
I did all the Tomorrow People crap.
Oh, you poor wuss. Honestly, Dominic, tell us
I'll
about
Do it. I mean,
Tell us about
I couldn't
Deliverance.
see it. I couldn't
Right.
see it.
Eddie.
Good. It's another good episode. It kind of follows the formula from last week, which I said at the time I found rather annoying in terms of we have the crew split in two. So we have those which are stranded on the planet and the others that go on a side mission that takes the Liberator away from the planet to increase the jeopardy. So that formulate back again. That said, the whole premise around and she is the person that they find on the planet as they're looking for Jenna, babe, and she then takes it upon herself to announce that Avon is being prophesized, and Avon is this god that they prophesized was going to come and save the day and take them into the stars. And Avon absolutely laps it up, and Paul
doesn't he?
Darrow has absolute fun with it.
I
Saves
love
the entire
Villa's
episode.
play in
It's just
this too. Just Villa being snarky to Avon about it all.
Can't blame
It's
him.
perfect because you can
and
see
it's like,
Avon's
yeah.
actually like, I kind of like Villa. So it's good.
Oh dear. Yeah, no,
But
it's
again, the
a
whole
fun
premise
one,
of this is like it's fun, but they did it, the same kind of setup for this. Didn't a few episodes earlier that was like Callie they forgot about her and when they beamed up, and now they've done it with Jenna. Their treatment of women in this program is absolutely shocking.
They to be
but
fair,
again,
they do all the way through.
Mhm.
yeah,
It's, I mean, Sue Lin was brought in for the 4th series, and she's supposed to be this excellent gunslinger. Well, we've already got Dana, who's an excellent gunslinger, but no, Sue Lin's better. And they gave her nothing to do. Nothing whatsoever.
the side plot is there to kind of introduce the premise that Aurak is coming.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. But Paul Darrow just totally, again, just laps up this whole thing around. You see Avon loving this. That this is where Avon wants to be. He wants to be worshipped. He wants his intellect to be taken into full consideration and to be treated with this level of respect, which he absolutely deserves. It's great. So no, this is really good, and I take it back. What frustrated me last week frustrated me less this week because it actually made sense. So, not a great episode, and Oryx coming, which is in itself great.
Yep.
Can't wait.
Mhm.
So thumbs up, yeah?
Totally.
Thumbs up. We're not talking to you, Brian. We're going to try and save your poor vocal larynx thing. Oh, bless. Right. That's it, isn't it? Yes, it is.
No, we
That is.
have JLA
indeed.
and
Oh,
Justice League.
yeah, Justice League.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I'm going to go. with
Winter
Mark.
Soldier, I've only watched the first 20 minutes.
All right, we won't talk about it then.
All right, so no spoilers.
We won't talk
No.
about it. There's no point. Plus, it's just the first episode. So yeah, the Snyder Cut. Not Earthshock, but we're not going to go into
4
any
hours.
detail here whatsoever. We're just going to say whether we enjoyed it or not. I'm with Mark Commode. He reviewed it and he said the original film was very patchy, very, unstable because it was patched together and whatever. And he said this film is more consistent. It's definitely a consistent film. It's consistently dull.
I fell asleep 4 times during the 4 hours. I fell asleep 4 times.
So
I was at work watching it, so I couldn't fall asleep.
it's definitely better than the original, and I've got to
It is
admit, I
way
did
better
enjoy
than
it.
the original.
I did enjoy it, but Jesus Christ, DC.
I generally like
Have a
my
sense of
superheroes,
fun.
the superhero movies, to be heroic, not warriors, heroes.
Yeah.
There is a difference.
No, I'm with you on. Oh, hang on a second. K-John61. K-John D. Oh, I know who that is. We were talking about him earlier. Evening, Davies. How you doing, sweetheart? Hope you and the missus are fine. Well, bugger off then, quite frankly. Sod you.
Enjoy your supper.
Hey. How lovely
I
of
want to
him
know what he's having for supper.
How lovely of him to turn up. Oh, it's a sweet pie. Yeah. So, I enjoyed it. It wasn't great,
I had-
and like I say, it was depressing because it was just so dark.
I think,
Ooh,
yeah,
you need an unction for that, dear. Rub it in, yeah? Yeah, it'll help. Oh, that's good. Pleased to know that. I'm seeing the boys' posts as well, which is always nice. He's doing well. Right, so, anyway.
Mark Kermode is right. It does make more sense. It was butchered by the other fella, but it's just too low.
I think it was as good as it's ever going to be in this particular version.
Yeah.
I feel the previous version was just very, as you said, very patched together because they clearly had an intent with that one, which they were trying to retrofit from the existing work of the previous one. and as well as reshoots and whatnot. But this one being the undiluted one, I mean, is 4 hours too long? Probably yes. But I thought it was all right. I thought it was definitely better than the previous version of it. Was it worth a 4-year rate? Probably not. But yeah, I think it's serviceable. It's not up there with say Infinity War or Endgame by any means, but it
See,
does.
here's the
job.
problem DC has. They don't have a consistent plan.
Mm.
They don't have a consistent voice. One
See you
voice
later,
saying,
ladies.
we start here, and here, and then we go into this. They don't
Yeah.
have a plan, and it shows. I mean, they've rebooted Batman with Pattinson, and really, who cares?
Yeah. I mean, how many
Man,
Jokers have we got now? More than we
They
can
got
count.
Meth Head Joker in this. And
Well,
Yeah.
what's interesting about the Joker in this is he's the first actor, apart from Cesar Romero, to play the Joker in 2 different things. I mean,
well, that's
Cesar-
because they
different
keep
mediums.
killing him off.
exactly. I mean, Nicholson got bumped off. Ledger got bumped
Nicholson
off.
got dropped from the church.
Yeah.
Ledger.
Ledger got dropped from a skyscraper, I think. I can't remember. But every time...
Ledger's Joker survived, but unfortunately the actor didn't. So.
Yeah.
Mm.
And now you
yeah,
have
but the
Meth
thing
Head
is,
Joker.
the thing with that thing, that bit is, it's a bit like the Lord of the Rings film, The Return of the King. It doesn't know when to finish.
Yeah, there are many
Yeah.
different endings.
Yep. Davies has just mentioned that he's launching his Douglas Adams Archives book as a Kickstarter. It goes live in the morning, so that's Monday. As it's coming from him, it'll be good. It'll be full of stuff you wouldn't know. It's yeah, because you got to remember, Kevin was one of the original. Well, he worked on the original TV show as part of the animation department, which is after he destroyed Davros. Long story. I always take the piss out of him for that. So yeah. What are you doing next week? You don't know, do you?
You haven't told us.
No,
No.
doing the Eleven Skin for a lot of
I
people.
meant during the week in general.
Oh,
Oh,
working.
Hey, I got Muppet hands. That's what they look like. It's Muppet hands. Okay, so you want to know what we're doing next week?
Sure.
Yes,
All right,
go
we're
for
doing
it.
Aurak for Blake 7. The Living Skins.
what was that again?
Aurak. The Living Skins for the Tomorrow People.
What are we doing for Blake 7?
Aurak!
Oh, I thought you were just clearing your throat. Sorry.
Yes.
Orac. Right, okay, got it.
And then I'm ignoring you.
'Cause I'm
Right,
tight.
the audio. We're going to listen to Return of the Cybermen, which is one of the lost stories. However, we don't know what's going to drop during the week, so that might change. Have to wait and see. All right. Yes, and now we need to discuss last night's RPG.
How did it
Look,
go?
I have said it again and again. I'm not going to apologize for the twists I throw at you guys.
Twists.
Twist. It's a plot twist.
It has a tendency to get people killed.
I'm just saying, I don't kill people. I don't kill players. Players kill players.
All right. So, in
Is
response,
that a play on guns don't kill people, people do, so dungeon masters don't kill people,
Players kill
the
people.
dungeon.
Players kill themselves.
Okay.
as a result, and I'm sorry about this, next week's Doctor Who, it's going to be a black and white. It's going to be the Web of Fear. We. Oh, he's gone.
Oh no! You drove him
No,
away.
no, I'm still here. I'm just crying off camera. So
Web of Fear, man.
okay. Is that an okay one?
That's a fucking brilliant one.
Oh, yeah, I'm back.
Web of Fear.
Do we
Good
want to
idea.
let him in on it?
Yeah, basically, Brian's having trouble because Adam and I have played this Star Wars game a long time, this particular Star Wars game, and we're having some fun with it. And he's not getting one over on us yet.
All right.
He will. I'm sure he will.
Tried to get one over on you guys.
No. We're still really at the introduction for the adventure. But
Wait until you get further along and things happen, and then Eddie can be properly afraid.
I still want a decent hat.
You're not getting the pimp hat.
I want
It doesn't have a feather.
Plus, I want a mouse droid as a pet.
No, because you'll just keep doing that.
Gonk. I'm just saying. All right, so we know what we're doing next week, and we've got fair stuff to look at. To be fair, apart from the Tomorrow People.
No, Living Skin is okay because
it's Roger Price showing his fetishes again.
You can fear the '80s jumpsuit fad.
Well, this is 70s.
No, well, yeah.
It is. The Tomorrow People didn't last out of the 70s.
Just think about it. If Michael Jackson's red jumpsuit could come alive and eat you.
Oh, I'm going to watch this after this. Then I'm going to go.
I remember watching it on original transmission
before there was Venom. We'll go with that.
Oh dear. And I know I can remember how they solved the problem as well.
Achoo.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's our show for this week. Tune in again next week, 9 p.m. UK time on this Twitch channel to see which one of us turns up. We don't know, quite frankly. Anything can happen. Yeah, it was an interesting order, and like I say, I think Brian won.
You're saying same Twitch time?
Same Twitch channel. Yes, indeedy doodly. Oh, if you're on YouTube, why don't you come and watch us live? It's more fun. You can hurl insults at us.
Hit the like button. Hit subscribe.
Oh, yeah.
Ring the bell. Do all the things.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the official Flashing Blade channel.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Oh, yeah. And hit the little bell.
Ring that bell.
I have no idea about any of this. I really don't. Oh, dear. Say goodbye, children.
Goodbye, children.
Goodbye, children.
Yep. Every time. Every bloody time. Goodbye, everybody.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
Goat!